But first, some of us right now are crippled. We are, as a country, in the midst of another natural disaster. It's nothing new for Australia. We live in the best country in the world, but one that has always been ravaged by drought, fires and floods. I drove to Orange in the Central West yesterday to speak to a group of mums and small business owners. Many were in tears. Family and friends in surrounding towns had lost everything. In the past week alone, lives have been ripped apart. It's one thing to watch it on the news and even here now and think, how sad. It's another thing entirely to live it, which is why so many Australians who aren't directly impacted want to help. There was this little collection box at my event yesterday. People were even donating their raffle prizes. One lovely lady said to me as I left the local RSL, "I wish that I could give more, but I can't. It's too tight at home." She'd spent the morning at a local market selling clothes to try and help pay her electricity bill. And that's when I checked my phone and saw an MP sharing a GoFundMe page for Eugowra. Lovely, right? They say it's the best way to help, that the money goes directly to that community. Something, though, felt a little bit off. I know the government can't pay for everything, but if they are relying on the generosity of Australians to help a community survive, then at least give us a bone. Australians are so generous, so incredibly generous. Remember the bushfires, that horrific summer of 2019-20. Everyday Aussies gave over $600 million of their own money to complete strangers. People today can't pay their own rent and their bills, let alone have money to spare for a good cause. If the government wants us to help them, then help us. Power prices, there's still no solution despite so many promises. Pre-election, of course. Post-election, I read in the telly this morning, the feds have spent over $2 million in 3 weeks on energy consultants. If the government didn't, and clearly still doesn't, know how to bring prices down, why did they promise us they could on 97 separate occasions? Opposition leader Peter Dutton said this morning on Sunday Agenda.
What we've seen over the last few weeks since the budget is a thought bubble most days. The Treasurer has been talking about a price cap, export controls, he's talking about a super profits tax, that would be distributed somehow.
Yeah, lots of ideas. Now, the Prime Minister arrived back home today and reiterated this is a priority. And to be fair, he's been busy. He's done a good job over the past week on the world stage. I just can't help but wonder how many more Australians would be in a position to give to the likes of Eugowra right now if, as promised, their power bills had already started to go down.